Yorpshard, the collector guy, transparent eye, returned from my galactic travels to bring you the good news of the great records, wandering the planet in search of a home collection. Hi, I've been missing, right? But now I'm not missing anymore. So let's fucking get caught up here, huh? Hey, yo, I've been busy, but I'm gonna try and get back on this trip now that the little mutants are back in their classes. Might be able to eke out a couple hours a week to get back on my video train. It's been like fucking months. It's been like the whole summer plus some, you know. I think 4 or 5 months since my last video. But I do plan on getting right back on my goddamn horsey and getting on more of a regular routine of spitting out some shit for y'all. Since it's my first day back, I think the best idea is to show you how I spent my summer. Or more importantly, the shit that I picked up since the last episode. And the last episode was like all metal only pickups. So this really is shit that's been collected for fucking the last 5-6 months. I don't know. A long time. It's been a long time. So there's a ton of shit. So let's just fucking hop right into it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I got a fat stack of bullshit. I think for this video we'll just do LPs and 12 inches. And then next video, I'll show you some of the 7 inches and singles and shit that I got since last time. And then after that, we'll get back onto our regular fucking bullshit of, you know, we got more Ramones videos to do. We got some more UK82 videos to do. We got a bunch of other shit I wanted to get into also, man. I mean, there's been some cool shit that I missed while I was gone over the summer, you know. I like that one thread of like the 10 fucking shits that nobody else in the vinyl community has. I know the time frame for that contest is probably over, but that's not the point. I might just do that video anyway. I know my homie Punk's Not Dead just did a 90s video. I've been brewing a fucking 90s one in my head because that's kind of when I came up. Even though the 70s and 80s shit is more my favorite. But there's a lot of cool shit from that decade too, yeah. But anyway, yeah, lots of shit to come up in this fucking season 2 of Yorpshard the Record Jerk starting fucking now. Out of this batch, I only got one metal record. So let's do that first. This is gonna be like, mainly 80s punk and hardcore shit, some 70s punk, and one lone metal record. So metal record can go first. And it is this fucking beauty, Entombed second album, Clandestine. Fucking classic Swedish death metal, right? This is the 1992 pressing on Earache. This is the limited edition with the embossed cover, man. I don't know if the fucking get some of that there. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Fucking embossed. Why? Why not? This is pretty fucking sick shit. Weirdly, this is the only Entombed record without their regular vocalist, LG Petrov. Rest in peace, LG. But the vocals are capably handled by fucking a couple other dudes in the band, including one Nicky Anderson. If you guys aren't metal guys, you might know him from Helicopters, fucking Death Breath. He's playing with Lucifer now. Busy fella. Usually on a cool trip. I wasn't like desperately hunting this record, but it appeared to me at a hell of a price that I couldn't say no to. Shit's sick. Look at this shit. It's got the old school fucking Earache insert, right? All the other fucking albums you can get on here, plus all the goddamn long sleeves. What do you got? 2 t-shirts and a fuckload of long sleeves. It's the deal with metal and long sleeves. I live in the desert, fuck a long sleeve. Here's the fucking labels, right? Made in England. That shit's cool. I mean, the fucking early 90s death metal shit just doesn't pop up that often anymore, original presses, so had to fucking snatch it. Cool record. Okay, next, let's hop into some 70s punk rock shit. Check this out. I found me this thing. Music to Kill by the Africa Corps. Purportedly, one of the earliest examples of 100% DIY US punk rock. This came out in 1977. It's a supergroup of sorts. Maybe in retrospect, it's got dudes from the Gizmos, from the Slicky Boys. And if you know either of those bands, then you can guess pretty well that this is like super fucking garagey 70s kill by death kind of punk rock shit. Iron Cross Records, Music to Kill by. You got fucking 22 songs on this thing. Nice short fucking tunes for the punk period, the pre-hardcore period. They're fucking jamming them in there. As you may have guessed by the label name or the fucking cover or whatever, they do have some of the goofy, shocking, tongue-in-cheek fucking imagery that 70s punk tended to have, which nowadays could be considered problematic. But it's all real goofy and lighthearted. These guys are just screwing around on some 70s punk shit. That's fucking what they did back then. Fucking weird to judge some of this old shit by today's standards, because it was from a long ass time ago. Look at these guys. Look, in one picture there's only 4 of them, and the next picture there's like 35 of them. I don't know how many people are even in this band. Fun, harmless, heavy garage inspired, Killed by Death Punk, 1977, the Africa Corpse. Africa Corps. I keep saying the S on the end. Next one from Italy, 1978, Rancid X with the Voices LP. This came out on Polydor Records. One of the few Italian punk bands to get on a major label back then, maybe. Nice little insert. Lyrics in English. The guys. This is a real cool fucking record Rancid X put out. It's their only LP. And it kind of straddles the line between like hard rock and punk rock. It's got like that real rock and roll-y feeling of the early Saint shit, but mixed with kind of like the dark, druggy fucking swagger of the New York City 70s shit, right? There's some rockers on here, but there's also some like slow fucking creepers. Whole LP's fucking rad though. Rancid X, check it out. I found this little friend as well. This is Susie and the Banshees Peel Sessions, recorded November 29th, 1977. So this is like before their first LP even. And this shit, especially the A-side, is some of like the most punk rock sounding shit that Susie and the Banshees ever recorded, really. You know, sometimes looking back you hear like a fucking band that doesn't sound like they fit in. You know, Susie's were the same crew as the fucking Sex Pistols and the fucking early British punk shit. But they really had their own sound, you know, and Susie's voice really brought a different fucking feel, the way she was singing. And then musically, obviously, they continued to grow into more of a fucking gothy and post-punky and all that kind of shit, you know, but this is 1977, can't be post-punk yet. Shit's just punk rock. It's only 4 songs. Killer fucking album. This came out in 1987 on the Strange Fruit label that put out like a fucking million of these Peel Sessions records. I got a couple of them. There's a couple more I would want, and a bunch more I don't give a fuck about. Peel be recording all sorts of motherfuckers. Lots of cool shit on this label though. Perhaps worth mentioning the first track, Love in a Void. It's later covered by Dark Throne on the Too Old Too Cold fucking record, right? A bunch of other bands covered that too. Love in a Void, fucking it's a jammer. So that's it for 70s punk rock shit for this fucking haul. A little bit light on it this time, but you know that's just the way it goes. Sometimes the record gods give you fucking 70s punk. Sometimes they give you 80s punk, you know. I just kind of, there's so much different shit I'm into, man. Wherever the deals are popping up, you know, then those are the ones I'm gonna get. Yo, so anyway, the rest of this shit is all gonna be like 80s punk and hardcore shit pretty much. And there's a fucking fat stack of it. So let's get fucking going, yeah? Starting off with this fucking solid gold banger. The Celibate Rifles with Sideroxylon. I don't know how the fuck to pronounce that word. Sideroxylon, I don't know, something like that. This is a 1984 pressing of their 1983 debut album. Celibate Rifles out of Australia. And on a huge fucking Radio Birdman kick, right? If you dig Radio Birdman, you will dig this early Celibate Rifles shit. It's just a little bit faster, maybe a tiny bit 80s-er, but I mean, it's really only 4 years removed from that shit. It's like, it's fucking good. Hot records. And it is hot. This shit rules. Recommended. Next up, let's move over to Brazil. I came across this random US seller on Discogs that had a couple Brazilian punk rock LPs for real cheap. I fucking almost never find that shit without having to import it, and those prices are always shitty, so I just never buy the shit. But to find a US seller where you pay regular shipping and they're cutting deals on shit at the same time, I couldn't say no. I grabbed this motherfucker, Cholera, with the Anatal fucking 12-inch EP. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that shit really, but that's how I'm saying it for today. Galera is a fucking classic Brazilian hardcore punk band. This is like mid-period. This is like 1988, so it's not quite as fast and fucking savage as their earlier shit. And it has a tendency on this album to some like kind of silly, drunken fucking sing-along fucking gang choruses. Pretty groovy cartoon on the back, but pretty cool record overall. It's 1988 on Attack Frontal Records. Cool find from a band whose shit does not pop up that often in the fucking places I go. So, would love to find some of their earlier shit too, one day. One day. Also from Brazil, also from the same seller, also way below the median value, man, for the second album by Inocentes. This album's called like Adu Carne or some shit like that. I don't know, I don't speak Portuguese. This is WEA Records 1987. Their first single came out in like 81, so this is quite a few years into their career, even though it's only the second LP. Here's the boys. They started off more of a hardcore band, but here it's like some highly enjoyable, mid-paced 70s style punk rock shit. Real enjoyable listen on WAA Records. Check it out. Inocentes. Alright, let's kick it over to Belgium. This came out in 1985 on their own label, Dirty Records. This is Dirty Songs from the Dirty Scums. The Dirty Scums spelled their name out in beer bottles. Good job, boys. I would think just by looking at this album cover, you could possibly get an idea what this shit sounds like. This is like gritty, drunken, hardcore street punk shit. A little bit of a UK82 vibe, a little bit of a more just straight hardcore vibe. More slanting towards hardcore than UK82. But there's a little bit of that in there. This band apparently is still going. This is the only record I heard from them, but they got like fucking, they've just been putting shit out straight. This is their first album in 85. They got like 100 other albums. They put one out in 2020, these guys. Belgium's old standbys, the Dirty Scums, right? Comes with a fun little zine insert, right? It's nice, it's good. Somebody trying to like pee on a car or fuck a car or something, I don't know. I always appreciate a nice insert. These guys have some thought-provoking songs such as We Hate Cops and The Biggest Pile of Shit. Check it out. It's a fun listen. I would not be opposed to hearing more from the Dirty Scums. Bursting out of Belgium and heading over to Germany, I got a small clutch of cool German punk rock shit, starting with Beton Combo. This is their first LP, Perfection ist Satzschichtergatter, something like that. If anybody out there cares about me slaughtering all the pronunciations of these different languages I don't know, feel free to help me out in the comment section. I'm not ignorant on purpose, I just never learned that language, so I don't fucking know, man. I'm trying here. I'm trying! Anyway, this record came out in 1981 on Aggressive Rock Production. It's got a fucking baby on the back for some reason, and it also advises you not to use phones. Like, don't use phones. Don't use phones, please. This record's really good though, man. A classic of early German punk rock shit. It's 1981, yes, you know, so it's kind of like the sweet spot between 70s punk rock and like the hardcore shit coming, you know. It's not like full-on hardcore shit, but it's like getting there. Good songs, good record. Fucking Beton Combo, man. West Berlin punk rock shit. Don't use phones. I don't know, I mean, maybe in 1981 in fucking West Germany you didn't want to use phones. It could make a lot of sense. But by all accounts, these guys were pretty politically active and super cool dudes. And they made a killer record. This next one's kind of a fucking wild record, man. Distortion X with El Topo. Look at this cover. I kind of love this fucking cover. I can't make my face like him. I'm trying, though. This band is pretty wild, man. This came out on Sonic Records in 1987 out of Germany, like I was saying. And it goes from, like, fast, raging, fucking pretty pissed hardcore with, like, pretty intense vocals to, like, real slow, sludgy, fucking heavy, doomy parts, man. Like, this is the only album I've ever seen where on Discogs the description is hardcore punk and doom metal. I don't know that there's a lot of mixture of those two in 1987. A little bit. You know, COC was kind of getting into that, but this is like totally different. kind of unique, especially for 87, and it fucking rules. It's like fucking dark, pissed off, metallic hardcore. I wouldn't really call it crossover, you know, because it's like crossing into doom instead of thrash, you know, so it's like a different kind of beast. It's pretty rad and worth checking out if fucking my description piqued your interest, you know. Look it up on YouTube. You can hear a clip and see if you care. It's a pretty cheap record. I don't think a lot of people either know or give a fuck about it, but in my book, it's a fucking killer. Today's last entry from Germany is probably gonna win the album cover contest, maybe. Morbid Outburst with My Explosion. Look at this guy. Look at, oh god. Oh god. Your torpedo tits over here with the money head got all fucked up from fucking crazy guy's explosion. Lucky for us, we got the censor sticker on, man. You can tell a previous owner was fucking trying to rip the censor sticker off. I ain't messing with that. I don't gotta see this crazy motherfucker's wiener. This is a split release on Funhouse Records and Destroy Records from 1987. Look at the fucking singer, looks like a fucking nutcase too, man. Apparently this dude Carl Nagel, the singer, like went on to be like somewhat of a politician in Germany, but like for the anarchist party he like ran for chancellor in 1998 or some shit like that. And this record really has way more of a fucking early 80s California hardcore feel than like the German hardcore feel, which is cool by me. I like both styles. I was surprised that it definitely sounds way more US California influenced than I was expecting from a German band. No complaints though. This one comes with a little booklet too that does not have the censored artwork. It's a nice big old booklet. Pretty cool, man. I like this shit. More bands should do this shit. My band should do that shit. I'm gonna make a booklet. You want hardcore? We got it! We got the largest selection of American import records and European shit too, and shirts and all that shit. Fucking Funhouse Records in West Germany. Kick ass. Morbid Outburst. Good record. Also cheap. That's the thing with a lot of these ones, man. Just kind of digging into shit I either never listened to or never heard of before and be like, well, that's a punk rock record from 1986 and it's like fucking $8. What does it sound like, right? You know, because there's like a lot of obscure records that are awesome and they cost $100 fucking dollars and you're like, fuck, I'm never getting that. But then, there's a ton of obscure fucking records that are so obscure nobody knows what the fuck it is, and you can still get it for $8 or $10, right? 1987 German hardcore punk shit for $10, I'll take it almost every time. Especially nowadays, you have the option to just fucking plug on the YouTube and see what the fuck it sounds like. Like, that shit is fucking a killer record. Well worth my $10. Alright, next up, we got a couple records from ye old United Kingdom. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Starting off with the Thoroughbred Man LP by Resistance 77. This thing came out in 1984. It's on the Great Rot Records, which I think was Riot Squad's label. They put out a lot of cool shit in that era, though. This one's kind of an asshole to find, but I'm pretty sure there's a more modern reissue of it that can be had. Look at, they fucking number their records as asses, which is nice. This is ass 14. This is a real good listen though, man. I dig these guys. Resistance 77 is like real enjoyable, mid-paced, sing-along kind of oi punk shit, you know? Kind of like a more fucking scrappy UK 82 version of Cockspar, Sham 69 or something. Good shit and highly recommended if you're into that kind of shit. Pretty plain ass labels, that thing on there. Also on Rot Records, this one being ass number 4, is the Wet Dreams compilation. This also came out in 1984, so that's like, they put out a ton of shit that year on Rot, man. Busy little badgers. Like I said, Rot is Riot Squad's label, so they're on here. You get that and a couple other decently well-known B-grade UK 82 bands like Dead Man's Shadow and External Menace. Well, External Menace rules. And Resistance 77, who we just talked about. And then what I like about these comps is you also get fucking tunes from like Excretas and Christianity BC, like bands that never fucking had any records out, you know? Maybe a demo tape or something, maybe comp appearances like this. So these old comps are cool ways to hear bands that don't have their own records for sure. Like any comp, some songs are awesome, some are okay, some aren't as good. This is nice that it's pretty much all like punk rock shit, and doesn't have any of the fucking like goofy, weird, experimental shit on the B-side like a lot of 80s punk cops did. Doesn't have like any of the fucking weird skinhead poetry like the Oi comps. The only clunker really is fucking one of these bands at the ends covers fucking All I Want to Do Is Dream. That's like, why are you doing that? But whatever. Cool record. Glad to have it. Not many records on Rot Records I wouldn't buy, really, if the opportunity presented itself, because it's a cool fucking label from a cool time period, from a cool time of punk rock shit. Wet dreams. Alright, chugging along. Let's bring it back to the good old USA for this next batch of goodies. Starting off with the Pride of Connecticut, Chronic Disorder. This is their second LP, Blithering Idiots, from 1986, on their very own Chronic Disorder Records. This is fucking young, fast, loose, spunky, hardcore punk rock shit, right? It's fucking fun. It's full of energy. They do mix a couple more mid-paced, like Husker Du style tunes in, but mainly fast, peppy punkers. I like both styles, so it's a win of an LP for me. Chronic Disorder. Up next, out of New York City. We've got Ring of Fire and their record called Common Enemy. This is a fucking strange band, man. Cool little record, though. Got another damn cartoon wiener. I don't know what's going on with the cartoon wieners this episode. Enough already. Anyway, this thing came out on Live, Cheap, or Die Records in 1984. And it's a fairly unique release. They got like a clean guitar sound, like no distortion, you know? A fucking pissed off, like nutso singer. And pretty interesting song structures. It's like somewhere between fucking The Feeder's No Trend and fucking New York hardcore. It's fucking wild shit. Hello! Cool record, though, and one you don't see all that often. It's fucking manic, tense, fucking angry punk rock with a unique bent and a song about George the Animal Steel. So there. Next up, we got Fear Itself with Till Death Do Us Part. This fucking record is a ripper. This thing came out of South Carolina in 1987 on KML Records in conjunction with Phantom Records, apparently. This shit rules, man. It's like fucking sick-ass thrashy hardcore. Just a tinge of metal. Wouldn't really call it crossover yet, but it's getting close, you know? But more still on the hardcore side. Fucking rad vocals, dark, menacing hardcore punk, cool cover art. This is my kind of record, right? Now this is like the first original US pressing. Apparently the same year this was reissued in Germany on We Bite Records. And that has like yellow on the cover, and that one's supposed to be a remix, like a better sounding remix, and also has a bonus track, so that version might be worth fucking tracking down. Cool fucking record. Fear Itself. I first heard this band on the Senseless Death compilation. I think it's like an early Nuclear Blast release, maybe. Anyway, this shit rules. Up next, man, this is a weird one. Skullduggery with their Headlock LP. I think their only LP. I don't know. A fucking weird ass record, man. This came out in 1983 out of New Jersey on the infamous Mother Records. Mother Records being a treasure trove of US mustache punk. I don't think we got any stashes in this group, but there is a guy with a fucking beard, which is maybe even rarer in the punk scene at the time. Check out their little skeleton with guitar guy and hat. That's nice. Anyway, this band is fucking all over the place, man. I don't even know what to say. Actually, check out this. I'm gonna read you the review this album got when it came out in Maximum Rock and Roll. In Maximum Rock and Roll number 20 from December 1984, Tim Yohannan says, "Bizarre. Could have sworn this would be metal judging by the cover, but as the old expression goes, you can't judge a... Anyway, you want punk, you got it. You want country, you got it. You want garage, you got it. You want metal, you got it. You want experimental, you got it. And all done weirdly." And all done weirdly. And that is pretty damn good review of this record, really. I don't always like the early Maximum Rock and Roll reviews, man. A lot of times I feel like they fuck them up or are pretty short and dismissive of shit. But that one 100% sums this up. A ton of different styles, all done weirdly. All with like a punkish feel to it, but it's fucking weird. Weird record, Skullduggery. Alright, one more. Out of Virginia in 1986 on Turbulent Records, we get Unseen Force, In Search of the Truth. This record's fucking rad, dude. Fast, tight, US hardcore punk from 1986. Straight up hardcore record. Fucking great. This band had members from White Cross, from Honor Roll. The one guitar player dude here went on to be the original Flatus Maximus and Guar after this. This is a good one, man. For straight up 80s hardcore punk. No complaints here, glad to have it. This is the 86 original. I'm pretty sure there's a modern reissue of this one that can be had for like real cheap. Well worth grabbing if you're into that kind of shit, man. Unseen Force is a good one. Alright, you sick of me yet? It's been a fucking marathon of a fucking update video. I know it's been a while. Hopefully you all missed me like I've missed you. Alright, fuck it, I'm gonna throw in one more bonus album because it would be foolish not to mention that while I was taking a YouTube break, my band Suburban Resistance did come out with a fucking brand new album. Look at it, shiny and beautiful. Gatefold, lyrics, Yorpshard. This is an 18-song double LP on blue vinyl. This just came out in August of 2022. I'm pretty happy with it. I'd love it if you'd give it a fucking shot. At our core, we are like a fucking snotty, melodic, skate punk kind of band. But we don't really love to stick to one style. I mean, we're old enough that we don't give a fuck and we like lots of kinds of music and we fucking can play a hardcore song and a pop punk song and a skate punk song and a death rock song and fucking hard rock shit. We'll play any kind of shit we feel like. But all kind of based in the fucking punk rock fucking field, you know? Anyhow, I'll put a link in the description to like a fucking couple songs and where to order it if you want. I'll put a link in the description for a song for all the fucking records I show. Everything that has them anyway. Anyway, enough about me. It's good to be back. Hopefully I'll have the 7-inch update up in the next couple weeks too. We'll keep rolling again. Cheers, homies. Later!